Good morning, good afternoon. We're getting ready to start. Give me a second. I'm excited. I'm excited about this topic. I'm excited that it's Black Friday, or as we call it in Kingdom Business Network, Blessed Friday is coming up, y'all. Hey, wave when you come in. How you doing? Hey, Shane. So I'm getting ready to go work out here in a minute. This was just on my heart. I know that a lot of people, a lot of entrepreneurs are getting ready for Black Friday, Blessed Friday, Giving Tuesday, Small Business Saturday, Cyber Monday. There's all these things that we're getting ready for. And I really wanted to talk about the power of building an authentic brand. And if you see me looking to the left, I have a whole list of notes for y'all. So I really hope y'all are able to take notes. If not, watch this later. I'm going to save it because this was just really on my heart and I really wanted to get this out. If you don't know who I am, let's start there. My name is Bianca Moto. I'm a best-selling author of Unscarred Prayers for Healing, brand consultant, co-owner of L'Amour Chic Suites of Fayetteville. We're Salon Suites in Fayetteville in South Atlanta. So I am just excited to be here. And I really just want to talk about the courage that's needed to become and remain an entrepreneur, what's needed to build an authentic brand. Everyone wants to start something, whether it's a product or service they want to offer. And if you're an expert, if you are a high-performing leader, then this is going to be for you. And so often we kind of get caught up and thinking about who we were, who we once were, what people told us that we could do, what we couldn't do. We were told that we got to go to school, we got to go and graduate, and then we're going to get a degree, and all of these things. And it dawned on me that my path is not going to be like the path of anyone else, and your path is not going to be like the path of anyone else either, right? And so we have to be true to ourselves, and that's what it means to build an authentic brand. And my life it was crazy. My life was filled with pleasing others. I grew up as the people pleaser. I had to get good grades. I had to make sure the teacher knew that I was performing and doing the things that I needed to do. And at some point in my life, I was over it. I was really a perfectionist. I was like, if I'm going to do something, then it has to be right. It has to be perfect. And it got to the point where I was like, no, I have to start. Like for me, I just have to start. If I get an idea and I pray into it and Holy Spirit is like, you know what, do it. This is what I want you to do. I have to do it. I have to take those steps, one step after the other. And so I just want to talk about what it's going to take for you to kind of build that authentic brand and what it is, what it means to grasp your long-term goals. And, I'm talking about your 3-year, your 5-year. And right now I'm talking to the high performance leaders now. These are the ones that, they know what they're going to do in the next year. They know what they want to accomplish in the next year. Even in the long run, I have some pretty crazy goals that I'm like, I don't know how I'm going to do this, but we all have to start somewhere, right? So this is the person that I am talking to. And what was important for me was to really dive into those long-term goals, right? Figuring out what my strengths were, figuring out what my personality is, what is it that I'm bringing to the table, right? And make sure you're waving and giving me some love when you come in. If you see something at the bottom, you see that it says I'm fundraising for Bianca Moto Foundation. Bianca Moto Foundation really quickly helps women who have been in human trafficking, helping them to move from survivors to thrivers. And so next year, we have a big project, a really, really, really big project that we're working on. And we need some funding. So if you want to share this live, everything is going to the Bianca Moto Foundation. I can't wait to share, what it is that we're going to do, because it's going to get done. Like God is going to do it. We're going to do it. And so I can't wait to share with you those big goals. But anyways, so we're talking about building an authentic brand. We're talking about understanding, what your long-term goals are, figuring out your strengths, being authentic in your storytelling, where it is that you came from, what it is that you've done. As experts, as leaders, we all come from somewhere, right? We all had some type of struggle to get to where we are, whether it was actually inside of our careers, or it was something that we dealt with growing up. It was family, mistakes that we've made. All of these things culminate who we are and cultivate who we are, what it is that we're supposed to be doing, all of these things, right? And so I became more confident when I was able to know what my strengths are and know what I brought to the table and understood what my personality is, and really dove into my storytelling and telling my business. You know, if you haven't read Unscarred Prayers for Healing, I laid it all out. I laid out everything that was traumatic for me, the mistakes that I was making, that I made in my life. And just things that just happened that had nothing to do with, you know, the choices that I made. It was just life and what the cards that life dealt me. But I had to get over that and really get into, you know, who it is that I was called to be, who God called me to be. I couldn't let these little things deter me from being the person that I was supposed to be. And so I became more confident knowing that I'm enough. Like, no matter what it is that I've gone through, no matter what I've done with or without degrees, going to school, like, I'm enough. Like, I come to the table and I'm enough. And I really want to remind you that you right now, this person, whoever it is that is on this live, if you're watching the replays, you are enough. You know, your expertise is enough. There is something that is inside of you that you can teach someone else. Okay, I am telling you this. A lot of people say that, well, I'm not meant to be an entrepreneur. Okay, entrepreneurship is not for everyone. However, I do believe that every single person on this earth has some type of God-given talent. Okay, some type of God-given talent that will thrust them forward in the marketplace. And the marketplace could be your entrepreneurship, or it could be you and your career if you're working for someone else. Everyone has that it factor, right? And so it's really diving into, well, what's my it factor? What am I good at? And we'll talk about it. We'll talk about it a little bit. If you have questions, please just go ahead about branding in general. Put them in the comments. If you're watching the replay, do #replay and still put your comments in there, because I'm going to reply to everyone. Okay. So just keep that in mind. If I'm talking and, you know, you're like, I have a question, just go ahead and put it in the comments. I will get to you. Even if it's after the fact, I will make sure that I respond to your question. And so today I'm talking about the power of building that authentic and genuine brand, okay? And how you're going to use your story to elevate. And so I have my list over here on the left-hand side that I'm looking at. So take notes. If you need to watch it again, you know, go get some paper and really take notes, watch it again. And so there are 4 key areas to building an authentic brand, all right? Those 4 key areas include crafting your brand story, owning your mistakes, and being intentional about your success and becoming your brand. Okay, I'll say that again. Crafting your brand story, owning your mistakes, being intentional about your success, and becoming your brand. And so talking about crafting your brand story. And so what is your brand story? It is what other people need to know about you. Okay. What do they need to know about you so that they either want to work with you, if they want to trust you, like you, know you, all of these things. Your brand story is going to kind of, it's like people talk about your elevator pitch. It's a little bit beyond your elevator pitch. Your elevator pitch is really like a one-liner, hey, my name is Bianca Moto. I'm a brand consultant. I help transformational leaders grow their business, their authenticity and credibility. But your brand story really dives into where is it that you came from, right? It's the combination of like how the world sees you, who you are, and then how do you add value. And if you don't really know how you add value, if you don't know who you are, there's a lot of people that I meet, there's clients that I meet, and I ask them and I'm like, okay, well, tell me about yourself. Tell me who you are. And they give me this, well, I did this and I went to school and I did all these things. And I'm like, okay, cool. But who are you? Who are you at your core? Why would I want to work with you? Why do I even want to talk to you right now, right? Everyone is not personable and friendly like I am. And sometimes people just, they need to know why they need to connect with you. And so being able to tell a compelling brand story, you're going to have to understand your personality, and you're going to have to understand your values. We all know that there are personality tests. Sally Hogshead has a really great, the Fascination Advantage. That's actually one of my favorite personality tests. Myers-Briggs, we all know. But really understanding each of these things, right? And what it is that you're bringing to the table, your values, the things that you hold dear, that in any situation, for me, it's like integrity, godly leadership, love, family. These are the areas that I'm not giving any kind of leeway in. Like I will fight for my family. I will do all of these things for my family, my friends. I'm a lover. I love people. That doesn't change in any situation. So honing in on what are my values, so that you're able to weave it into your business and weave it into your brand story, right? And so if you're just joining us, you can catch the replay. We're talking about how you can build an authentic brand, a powerful, authentic brand, okay? So we're talking about crafting your brand story and what it entails. And so why do we need to tell, our audience about the things that we've overcome and our struggles and our success and our lessons? And when I think about it, and I'm going to keep referencing my book, Unscarred Prayers for Healing. When I think about it, I really didn't want to tell people these things that happened to me, right? I didn't want to tell people what was going on in my life, what had happened in my life. We all want to tell our success, right? That's the great part. Yeah, I did this. I made 6 figures. We did this in 6 months. Our salon suites is booked out. We want to tell those great things in our life, right? But sometimes, the struggles and the lessons and the mistakes we tend to hide from, right? We're like, people don't want to hear about that. They only want to hear about, how I made 6 figures, 7 figures. That's all they care about, right? And I'm like, no, that's not all I care about. They care about the person. They care about who you are and your brand, and how are they going to, how can they relate to you? If I'm a lover, if I have integrity, then I'm going to want to be around other lovers and other people who have integrity, right? That's just who I am. That's just what it is. People just naturally gravitate in that way. And so making sure that in your brand story, you're telling these things. You're telling not only your success stories, but tell people how you failed and how you came out of that failure. Because let's be honest, entrepreneurship is hard. And you got, at some point, you got to pick your hard. For me, I'm talking to high performance leaders, and whether you're working as an entrepreneur or you're working in your career in the office, this ish is hard. Nobody told us this growing up, but I'm going to keep it 100. There's so many moving pieces in a business, and no one says these things. We just go in and we just do it, and we're going to make whatever. And if we got t-shirts, then we're going to sell these t-shirts, and we're going to figure out we got 20. And then how much is it going to be per, we're not thinking about, the failure aspect. But when you succeed and you make it, people want to know what happened in the meantime. They want to well, you were here and then you were here. What happened to the gap? Where was that? Those are the things that people want to know, right? So don't be afraid to own your mistakes and tell your struggles and all of these amazing things, because people trust real people, right? They trust real people. They can relate to them. They don't see you on a pedestal. They know that, okay, you can accomplish these things. That means I can accomplish these things. That means I can go out and do these amazing things just like you were able to. I just got to figure out what's my path to get there. And it doesn't matter whether you're a CEO, a politician, an entrepreneur, an executive, if you've all experienced some type of low in your life. You've all experienced some type of struggle in your life, right? And my triumph story, once again, it's in my book. Like the Unscarred Prayers for Healing, you know, I really talk about my triumph story and overcoming, you know, the abuse that had happened in my life, and then becoming who I am. Like that was serious for me. I could have been depressed and stayed depressed. I was suicidal. I was all of these things, but I overcame those things. But how did I overcome those things? You know, that was the question. And that was what the whole book was about, because I knew that there was someone else who had gone through these same situations, who had been struggling in life somewhere along the way. And they're like, well, how did you find your path? And I had a mentee once, you know, she had been raped, and it was just all of these things that she had gone through. And she looked at me and she was like, you could never understand what I've been through because your life is perfect. You're perfect. Your life is perfect. And I was like, girl, no. Like, I look like this. I show up intentionally like this, one, because I'm a brand consultant, you know, I'm an image consultant. Like, this is what I do. But that doesn't change who I am on the inside and what I've been through on the inside. And I had to sit her down and tell her everything that I had been through. And she couldn't believe it. You know, most people can't believe. They're like, they see me and they're like, oh yeah, you got it all. You've had it all. And I'm like, nah, you know, even if I grew up upper middle class, like, everyone is going through some type of struggle, right? And so you, as the entrepreneur, as the brand, you have to take your story, okay? You take your brand story, and I would tell you to write it out. Write out your brand story. And, you know, I'm going to give you an example. I'm going to read mine because I don't have it memorized. I'm not even going to do that. But I would tell you to write this out and think about what it is that you've been through. Think about your experiences. Think about your struggles. You know, if you've traveled and you learned something, you traveled abroad, studied abroad, and you learned something, write all of these things out, because what's going to happen is you're going to start seeing all the pieces coming together. They're all going to start pulling together, and you're going to understand, oh my God, that's why that happened to me. That's why I was in that situation. And then you're going to be able to connect with other people who want to buy whatever it is that you're offering, whatever service, whatever product, whatever it is, right? And so I'm going to read mine just so you have an example, and we're going to move on to owning your mistakes because I got to go work out. So most people may know me as the best-selling author, mother, business coach, the girl who studied in Paris, co-owner of the More Chic Suites of Fayetteville. What most people don't know is that I have been depressed, suicidal, and dealt with shame, fear, and guilt because of the sexual, emotional, and physical abuse I endured throughout my life. I am now able to help young girls and women share powerful stories to turn personal pain into triumph stories, because I decided to heal and learn true forgiveness. We must learn that being vulnerable leaders doesn't make us weak. It gives us the power to thrive, okay? So you guys can break that apart and do what you want with that. I'm not going to dive too much into that that little map there, but a template that I did there, but you get the point. So let's talk about owning your mistakes, okay? So as a transformational leader, as a profound leader, as a high performance leader, for me, that's all the same thing. Thank you for the love, y'all. It's all the same thing for me. And as that type of leader, when you change your behavior, okay, when you admit your mistakes, right? When you change your behavior, when you admit your mistakes, you understand that you have to change on the inside in order to help somebody else change. Okay, let me say that again. You have to be able to change your thought processes, change your actions. Once you recognize that you're doing it now, right? Once you recognize, you know, you've been lying, or you've been, you know, cheating someone out of whatever, or you have just been underestimating yourself. Okay, that's a really big one with high performance leaders. They give, but they don't know how to receive, right? You have to understand, okay, that in those mistakes, what you're doing is just you're leading others to that changed behavior. So you got to change your behavior so that you can lead others to the changed behavior. Okay. I have my list on the side, y'all. And understand that we're so much more powerful at our core. And that includes the mistakes that we make. Because we're not going to always get it right. Parenting is a great example of this. I have a 4-year-old toddler, and he is working on my patience. Like, my patience is being worked on. I realize that, as I work on my patience with him, I have a little more patience for other people, or I have less tolerance for foolishness with other people, with grown people, because I have a 4-year-old, right? I have a 4-year-old at home. So I'm like, I'm not dealing with whatever it is. How I'm dealing with my clients, how I'm dealing with, the people close to me. I have patience in general normally. But kids are able to push buttons, which is a good thing, because you don't even know what your buttons are until somebody pushes them, right? You don't even know, what's aggravating you until that. And kids are great at this, because now I'm to the point where I just look at him. I might just stare at him and I'm just like, I don't even know what to say to you right now, because nobody's ever said this to me before. Nobody's ever made me feel like this. But it's great that, it helps us to realize who we are at our core, so that we can fix our mistakes, right? So here's a great example. So when I was probably Brendan's age, 4 or 5, somewhere in that, let me tell y'all what I did. I'm telling y'all my business right now, okay? I snuck out of the house. My uncle was watching me. And I snuck outside the house, and my grandmother, she had one of her male friends, his van was parked across the street. 4-year-old me decided to get outside of my van. Go outside the house without telling anyone, walked across the street, got into this man's van, and shifted the gears. And so the whole van, starts rolling down the street, and then it stopped. Oh, it was hysterical, and my uncle, not long after that, he ran outside and he got me out the vehicle. But of course I never did that again. So you think about, the mistakes that you've made in your life, you're never going to do that again. You've done it. But when we make those mistakes, we tend to hide them. We tend to sweep them under the rug. And say, okay, nobody needs to know this. Nobody needs to know, that I made these failures as an entrepreneur. Nobody needs to know that I made these failures in my career, in the office. There's a lot of things that have happened in the office, in an office environment, where I'm like, oh my goodness, I will never do that again. I will never work with this type of company again. I will never be scammed and spammed by whatever, these companies, right? And so we have to understand, by owning our mistakes, it changes you. It changes us for the better. And so instead of hiding those mistakes, make sure that, just embrace it. Embrace, okay, look, I did this. I made this mistake. And now I know how to learn from it, and I know how to teach others how to navigate those mistakes. Instead of hiding your flaws, confront them. Instead of hiding your weaknesses, know what your weaknesses are so you can operate in your strengths. You don't have to focus on your weaknesses, and don't allow other people in the areas that you are weak. Don't let people just keep, telling you you're weak in this. Just go find someone else. Say, okay, well, I'm just going to operate in my strengths. I'm just not going to operate, in my weaknesses, right? And you learn from it. You learn from your strengths. And you don't let them overshadow, what it is that you've done. Like, you don't let your weaknesses overshadow your strengths, right? And so make sure that you're holding yourself accountable for your mistakes, and, let your potential clients know, or your employees know, that you're human. You make mistakes. Things can happen. Anything can happen, right? And so, you want to foster an environment of forgiveness. Because then other people, either your employees or people that you're working with or your clients, are going to want to tell you what's going on in their business. We're talking about building an authentic brand, a powerful brand. That means I am able to charge high ticket, Okay, I need y'all to understand what this means. I can charge high tickets. I can work with my ideal clients. I can do all of these amazing things because I have a powerful brand. But what does it take to even get there? Like, what are the things people don't tell you? And I am telling you, I am giving you the sauce right now, y'all. I hope y'all are taking notes, or that you come back and watch this, because I'm giving you the sauce. But making sure, I have my notes, so sorry, I have my notes. I'm making sure that I'm covering everything, so I can get out of here and you guys can get on with your day. But, making sure that when you're owning your mistakes, you're fostering this environment of forgiveness, forgiveness, honesty, and growth. Okay, that means your clients are going to want to come to you with their problems. People are going to trust you with their problems. They're going to trust you as the expert, and they're going to trust you in knowing that if I come to you and I say, okay, this is my problem, this is what I like, I can be honest and I don't have to hide anything from you, because you're going to be like, oh yeah, I've been through that. It's okay. I understand. Let me help you how to navigate. But if you don't tell anyone what those struggles are and what the struggles that you've gone through, how do I even know, one, that you're the person that I need to hire or buy from or talk to, or whatever it is that you're offering in your brand? How am I supposed to know that you're the person for me if you've never told me your struggles, the mistakes that you've made? Because I'm just going to think that, there's, and I see it all the time, not to say people just get lucky. Some people, I really don't believe in luck, but there are certain situations where they put out, not the struggles. They're not putting out their struggles and what they really did to get to where they are, and the types of conversations that they had, and what they realized along the way. Like I tell you, it's a lot of people on Instagram. I'm just like, man, you just started out popping. Like, how did you just came out the womb popping? Like, we're not all celebrities. We don't all have celebrity money or, celebrity connections. Like, we all didn't come out like that. So we have to be ourselves and figure out, how do we attract people into our businesses and into our brand? That is what we have to do. We have to own our own mistakes. Okay. You're just joining in. We're talking about the power of building an authentic brand. Hey, drop some love, drop questions if you have any. If you're watching the replay, hashtag replay for me. And I think I'm covered. I got some notes over here. Okay. Just making sure. All right. So let's talk about being intentional. So we're on the third one now, being intentional about your success. Okay. Once you've owned who you are, all right, once you've said, okay, this is who I am, this is my personality, these are my values, I'm owning my mistakes, okay, I'm ready to get out here and I'm gonna know exactly, I'm gonna do what it is that I need to get done in my business, or to grow, whatever my goals are. I don't know what you guys' goals are. We know when the end of the year comes, everybody has, these year-end goals, but I really want you guys to think about it, okay? Think big. I was in a challenge recently with Eileen and Joe, and we talked about, Joe kept talking about, broke Joe and woke Joe. Okay, this is who I was, and this is who I wanted to be. And he was like, you get to name, your previous, whoever you are now, with, the person that you see yourself. And so for me, it was like basic Bianca and Holy Spirit filled Bianca, like the Bianca that was fearless. Like, she knew that she could go in and do anything. And what can I do if I know that I can do anything, right? And so I want you to think about that. If you knew that you could do anything, you were confident, what are the goals that you would have for yourself? What would you set for yourself? Would you start a business in 90 days? Is that a possibility for you? Would you go get a promotion? Would you secure 10 clients at 10K a piece in the next 30 days? What is it that you want to do? And you have to be intentional about it. You have to set that goal, write it down, and take yourself seriously. Don't tell yourself, well, I can't do that. This person's doing this. I can't do that. Make sure you're encouraging yourself. Okay? Make sure that you're taking yourself seriously and that you're encouraging yourself with these goals, because these goals, they're there for a reason. Like, they're not just coming out of nowhere. Okay? If you've got some good goals and And, you know, especially when it comes to like some type of inspiration and serving, being a servant leader. If God gives you something and he's like, hey, go save my people from, or, help them to navigate. If you're getting those types of goals and thoughts, it's something you might want to move on. It's something you want to think about. And if you're trying to grow your business, you got to know, you got to get clear about what it is that you want, and don't settle. Do not settle. 2021 is almost over. We're not settling anymore. Right now, I want you to make the decision right now and say, I'm not settling. I want you to say it out loud. I am not settling. Put it in the comments. I am not settling. Replay. If you're watching the replay, put it in the comments. I'm not settling. It's just not going to happen, because this is what I want. I know that I want it. And I'm going to lay out these goals and I'm going to prioritize them. Okay. Do you have some financial goals? Are you trying to increase your sales? Do you want to connect with your audience? If you want to connect with your audience and build engagement, what are you doing to get there? You want to be taken more seriously in your personal and professional relationships, personal and professional relationships. Whatever it is that you want to achieve, make sure that you're prioritizing those goals so you know what to work on first. Start by taking yourself seriously and dedicating yourself to the idea of success. Okay. Success is a mindset. When you choose that you're going to be successful, that means you're ready to take action. You're not thinking about it. You're not, maybe I'll be successful. No, I'm going to be successful. What do I need to do? And I'm going to do anything and everything that is required of me to be successful. It's a mindset. Like, once you change this, it's a wrap. Like, there's nothing, no one can tell you you're going to get it done. Like, period. Then you decide whatever your business idea is, decide what you want to follow. Just choose one thing, one goal that you're like, I'm going to knock this thing out in 90 days. Okay. And I am just going to get this done. All right. And make sure your result is transformational. Okay. And so I put here that transformational leaders choose to have the choice and the power to affect change, starting with the change that this change within themselves. And so when I say making sure your result is transformational, making sure the result for you is transformational, and if it's something that in the long run is going to impact your clients or impact the people that you're working with, the organizations that you're working with, the teams that you're working with, your family, if any of these goals are going to result in some type of transformational change, then you want to make sure you're writing those down. Go for those. Like, go for those goals first. If it's a financial goal and you're like, okay, if I do this and I make this money, then me and my family are going to be able to travel, or I'm going to be able to work from home and do what I want to do and work in my pajamas, and work 10, 20 hours out the week. I'm not busting my tail for somebody else. Make sure your goals are transformational, because if you don't, then you're really not going to be excited or challenged to work for those goals. Okay. Next, get clear about what it is that you want to achieve and be exact. If you say, well, I want to make money in the next 30 days. Okay. How much money do you want to make? You want to make $100,000? Do you want to make $50,000? Because once you break it down and decide what it is that you want to do, then you've got to break those goals down weekly. You've got to break those goals down monthly. And you've got to break those goals down daily. That's going to be the easiest way to do that. And then making sure that you're investing in your brand and in your image. Point blank, period. Make sure you're showing up and doing the things that need to be done. I use Trello to organize a lot of my ideas in my strategic planning in my business. Honeybook is my customer relationship management software, where I'm able to automate and do everything basically in one place for my customers. And just forget about all the fluff. There's so much in launching, okay? There's so much details that go into launching a business. And I just want to make sure that you stick with your goal. You say, okay, I've got this one goal. This is what I'm going to do to achieve that one goal. So you're not all over the place. Like, it can be, I promise you, as an entrepreneur, it's all over the place. And so just build the direct connection with your customers, your clients, your potential customers and clients. Forget all the extra stuff. Build the relationships like I'm doing right now. I'm talking to you. I'm telling you what it is that I can offer. I'm telling you, basically I'm pouring into you, like pour into your community. God just gave me that the other day. He was just like, don't worry about all of this other stuff. Pour into your community. Because what's going to happen is you're going to start attracting the type of people that you want in your business, your ideal clients, your team members, all of these things. When you just start pouring what it is that you do, your values, just all of these things, just keep on pouring. And let's see, what else? And what happens when we prioritize our goals? So we progress rapidly in our careers. When we're prioritizing the things that we want to do, we move quicker, okay? When I make a decision, when we decided to do L'Amour Chic Suites of Fayetteville, I mean, it went like this. Our project manager was saying it was going to take three months or something to get it done. It ended up taking like 7 months to get stuff done. And so it took some time to, did that. But when we made the decision to do it, it was like, okay, what do we have to do? Okay, we got to go get the building. We got to get the license. We got to hire. We got to pick out, I had to go get the equipment. I had to go pick out the equipment for the salon suites. I mean, it was just, but what started that? It was making the decision that, okay, this is the goal. This is what we're going to do. Just knock it out. Okay, if you're writing a book, when I wrote my book in 13 days because I was like, okay, I sat down and was like, I'm making this decision. I'm setting these goals. I'm going to write however many pages I don't remember how many pages it was per day, or a time. I'm going to write for 2 hours a day. No distractions, no excuses, taking away all of the excuses to get something done. It's possible. It really is possible. I can launch something quick. I can put a website together in less than 24 hours. For a lot of my clients, it's like 48 hours, unless it's something, I don't know, like it has to be extravagant for me to take, because I'm just the type of person. Once again, I know me. I don't want to work with y'all I love you, but I don't want to work with y'all for 6 months and 12 months and because you'll never go away. I'll never get the time. Like, I have to understand, my time and the time that I want to give. I just can't do it. So how am I going to structure my business so that I'm giving you whatever I need to give you in 12 weeks? Or I have VIP days, and now we're getting ready to do a retreat in the spring. And I'm just going to do that, so you guys can get everything that you need at one time, because it's taking too much time. Like, people who start businesses, or they're rebranding, or they want to work in their business, it's so many moving parts that you get decision frozen. Like, you're like, there's too many things to do. I'm not going to do anything. That's honestly what happens. I'm not going to do anything. It's like, I got to do this. I got to do that. And I'm working with, some clients now. And one of my clients, she was like, this is so much. Like, I don't even know what I'd do if I did not have you just telling me and doing these things, because this is a lot. And I'm like, I know it's a lot. So you need somebody, you need a coach, a brand consultant to tell you, this is what you need to do. Just go do this. Just do this first. Okay, go do this. Like, that's what you need. So that prioritization helps you to know the key tasks. All that extra stuff, like I said go straight to the clients, go straight to the customers. If you want to create webinars, do lives, everyone's at home right now. So if you want to go and just have an event and, hey, talk like I'm talking, and just start serving people and recording what it is that you bring to the table. It's so simple. Go straight to the money. Do you want the little cash? Like Joe and Eileen said, do you want the little cash? Or do you want to go straight to the money? Like, what are we doing? Are we going to dilly-dally, or what are the goals that we have, so we can go ahead and knock this out? I just need to know. Like, for me, I'm asking clients, like, are we in this to serve? Or are we in this to just make money? Tell me, so I know how to approach this, so I know how to structure and prioritize. I have a client, she's like, I'm not in this for the money, because she's got a 9-to-5 job. Like, she got a good job. She has a good job, but she has this idea that people kept coming to her for her expertise, especially in dating and relationships. And she's like, I just want to start, this side business. I'm like, okay, cool. I can structure that. Let me know how much, how much time do you have? How much time do you want to give? That's what I'm saying about prioritizing what it is. So you can move quickly, because I'm all about moving quick. I just can't sit here forever. Okay, I could talk about this forever. I just know when I was like, okay, when I decided that this is my life's mission, these are the things that I'm going to do, my career just took off, and all my opportunities and everything is just blossoming. And I'm just like, okay, like at this point now, I really could, just wake up and start applying for like podcasts and things. Like if I did it on a regular basis, which I'm definitely going to get back to it. But I rarely get no's. Like nobody is like, nah, we don't know who you are. Cause I have a whole list of what I've done. Like my Instagram page says it. Like, this is who she is. I'm not, throwing it in people's faces. You can see it. I'm giving you the information. I'm pouring into you all. You guys get to see it. So when you start showing up as that person, and really prioritizing, okay, well, I'm going straight to, whatever your goal is, I'm going straight to that goal. Like no hindrances whatsoever. Your opportunities are going to start knocking on your door. So just wanted to say that. And release perfectionism. Please release the perfectionism that it has to be perfect before you release it, because nobody's going to see it if you don't release it. I mean, it makes no sense. You have this great idea. You're this expert and you're hiding. Like some of you have clients, you have a few good clients, but you want better clients. And then you send me to your page or you send me somewhere and I'm like, what do you do? Like, what is it that you do? I go to your website's out. There's so many things. And I'm like, if you really want this powerful brand, you can't just show up to the clients that you have, because you're missing out on the clients. Like somebody in this audience is missing out on their ideal clients. Okay. There is somebody ready to give you 5K, 10K right now, and you are arguing back and forth with people who are paying you $500. I'm just going to tell it to you straight. And some of you you just won't start. You're so brilliant. You're experts. You're experts at work. People are always asking you, hey, can you help me with this? Do you know how to do this? And you always have the plan. You're so smart, but people use you. And I just want you to be able, I'm not going to tell you stop pouring into don't help people. That's not what I'm saying. But I want you to recognize that you already have some type of value. It's just that you need to strategize and structure that value in a way that you're not begging people to work with you. You're not begging people to give you money. You're not arguing back and forth with clients about your deliverables. I mean, I can go on and on and on about all of these things that's going on. And so I'm going to make sure that was our third one. And I want you to be your brand, okay? I want you to stand up and be your brand. Show up as your brand, okay? Show up, you've got the education, you've got the skills, start making the connections and take action, but show up as your brand. Show up on social media, show up in person, show up at your job. If you are, let's say this, you're working a 9 to 5. Okay. Let's just say you're working a 9 to 5. You want to start your business. You want to start your side business. You're a consultant. You're in some type of expertise field, right? I want you to show up as the person who would get hired. Let's think about what did we say earlier? I was like, this is my basic Bianca. This is my Holy Spirit filled Bianca. I don't know who that is for you. If it's, broke whoever and, 7-figure, I'm trying to see who's in here, 7-figure Tiffany or whatever the case may be, right? Show up as that person every single day. And make the decision that I'm going to have this powerful brand. I'm going to be my brand. I know who I am. These are my values. I'm not wavering. None of these things. I am just going to show up as that person. And if I don't know how to show up as that person, then I'm going to hire somebody who is going to help me show up as that person. Because I get it. Some people are like, well, I have the expertise. I just don't know how to package it. Or I just don't have the brand strategy to launch my business. You know, if you've been looking on my timeline, I've been giving y'all launch tips, and I'm still going to be giving y'all launch tips. I have so many more to give you for the rest of the week. But show up. Like, show up as the person that you want to be. Take some time and breathe and commit to, I would say, close your eyes, close your eyes, and see that person. See the person that you want to be in a year. See, if it's you want 7 figures, okay? See your 7-figure self. Go talk to your 7-figure self. Okay, that was what, when we were talking when I was in my challenge recently with Eileen and Joe, was like, go talk to that person. Like, have a conversation and say, okay, look, what did you do to get here? Let me know. Like, I talked to woke Bianca, whatever you want to call her. I said my Holy Spirit Bianca, and she told me some stuff, and I was like, what? No way. There's no way that's it. That's what I want to do. And so I'm talking to Holy Spirit. I'm talking to, you know, that version of myself. Take some time and become your brand. And if you want to hire, I would tell you to hire someone, because it's going to help you to establish the credibility and your presence and that thought leadership that you have. Because you're smart. Like, I know y'all are here. You're smart. You're watching. You already have the expertise. You just need the strategy, which is perfectly fine. Your brand strategist, your coach, whoever it is, because I don't know what it is that you need to work on in your business, but I'm a brand strategist. So I can help you. Brand consulting, image consulting, that is my expertise. I can like that. Okay. And we help you to know the exact steps to move forward. All right. And that's how you're intentional about your success and building that unique and compelling brand. And so I just wanted to remind you the 4, I'm not going to go back over it, but there were 4 that we talked about. The 4 key areas to building an authentic brand: crafting your brand story, owning your mistakes, being intentional about your success, and becoming your brand. Okay. If you missed any of this, I really want you to go back and watch the whole thing so that you're able to take notes. At the bottom that you'll see, there's fundraising for Bianca Moto Foundation. I'm just raising money if you would like to donate. After you've watched, if you know, $1 or whatever the case may be, anything would help. But the Bianca Moto Foundation helps young women and young girls who have been in human trafficking, who have been abused, helps them to go from survivors to thrivers. And so next year I am planning a huge project, OMG, a very huge project. We need help. So if you can share this, if you can donate, I would greatly appreciate it. You can go to biancamotofoundation.org to find out more information about us. You can donate on our website. But I am just really excited. I'm excited to see what God is doing for our nonprofit. And I am excited to see what God is going to do in your business. If you're watching the replay, put #replay. If you have any questions, if you go back and you watch this and you're like, okay, I have questions about branding, just drop them in the comments and I will answer them. I appreciate this. I'm getting ready to go outside. It's beautiful outside. It might be a little chilly, but I'm about to go work out. So I appreciate your time. I love all of you. I will see you later. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you for all the love. This has been an amazing time to pour and sow into you. And yes, have a wonderful day. Oh, have happy holidays. I probably won't go live again. I might, maybe at the end of the week. I'll think about it. I'll probably go live maybe on like Friday, Saturday. But happy holidays in the meantime. If you're going to go eat some food, just think about some things that you're thankful of, all of these things. I love you guys so much. And I